on her tuffet.
Just now. I'm going for a walk in the garden.
It's so late.
Yeah, well, it's so gorgeous, isn't it? Like a flippin' fairy tale castle.
Eating her curds and whey.
That's it. You go off to sleep, Jemma. Remember, we're mates. To the end. And we're all gonna get what we deserve. I've got someone to see about my old man.
When along came a spider.
You pick your places to meet, don't you? I don't feel right.
Who sat down beside her.
What's happening? What are you doing?
And frightened Miss Muffet away.
Please. No.
Mrs. Sidhu investigates Murder with Masala by Suk Pannu. Episode 1. Samosas, Suspicion and Stately Homes.
Indian weddings are a nightmare. I'm not talking about arranged marriages, eh? I personally don't care if a British Hindu marries a Belgian Methodist or if a penniless Jaiwala marries an assistant bank manager. If anyone asks me, I say, take my son, please. There are far bigger problems than that at an Indian wedding. I'm talking about how many samosas to make. Do you have any idea at all? Yes. I guess a vague estimate. Several hundred people. I'll take it. Well, let's move on to point 2 of this mathematical puzzle. How many samosas each? So that's you out. How about the other several hundred people? All right, don't worry. They'll be ready. Goodbye. I had several hundred samosas to make and not much time to make them. Ugh. Please, someone save me from Indian weddings. That must be salvation now. My first employee, a French sous chef. Her name is Lucie Lepinois, and her resume said she was cordon bleu trained. Oh, thank the heavens you come.
That's right, your knight in shining armour.
Oh, it's you.
Put the kettle on, innit?
My son had turned up as usual at the worst time. I was in the middle of a big order and I was running out of ingredients. But all this distraction meant I wasn't really paying attention. Unlike my usual self, I missed all the warning signs. I don't want to be rude, Des, but are you staying long?
Don't I even get a cup of tea from my old mum?
Less of the older, and I'm busy.
I can help. I'll stir the pot.
No.
Ow!
Why don't you run that under the tap?
I worry about you, Mum.
He worries about me, and he virtually commits sati while stirring a pot.
You know, since Dad picked it.
I've been waiting for his sensitive side to come out.
Is the cooking keeping your mind off it?
It's chefing, and it's a career choice, not a displacement activity.
Is it, though? What about this?
That's my ad.
That is a classic cry for help.
I don't need help.
It says, help wanted, Mum. Talk your way out of that.
Well, I need help.
Finally, we's getting somewhere.
It's not easy being on your own. There's so much to do. Chopping, cutting, dicing, boiling, frying.
You don't have to spell it out. You's a proud woman, and I's flesh and blood. I accept the job.
Except?
Luckily for you, I's unexpectedly at a loose end.
I've filled the vacancy.
You gave my job away, but you is my mum. You gave me life, you gave me love, and by the way, I'm still waiting for that cup of tea, innit?
In the end, I took Des on for a trial period and left him with an important job to do. Let Lucy in so she could get to work. I went to my wholesaler for more ingredients. I was only intending to be away for a half hour. What could go wrong?
25 kilograms of chapati flour, 2 kilograms of corn flour. Keeping busy, Mrs. Sidhu?
Meet Mr Varma, my catering supplier. In the days before I was parted from my husband by a massive coronary, his third, thank you for asking, Mr Varma was the main reason I didn't see so much of him. They used to hang out like Slough men do in the bar of the Holiday Inn, the one on the M4 towards Heathrow. For my husband, talking business with Mr Varma in the bar of the Holiday Inn was like doing deals with J.R. Ewing in Dallas. Sometimes Mrs Varma and me, we'd go along too. While the men discussed the cost of bulk buy toilet roll and the ins and outs of mully prices, we'd sip virgin screwdrivers. I know now that's basically an orange juice, but at the time, I felt like a Bond girl. Mrs. Varma's gone now. You'd think with both of us being bereaved, Mr. Varma and I would have plenty to talk about. But in Indian culture, men get on with their lives, while widows are expected to smash up their jewellery, sit in a corner and wait to die. Well, I sold the jewellery to finance my catering equipment, and I never could sit still. So here I was, talking groceries like a man.
Mrs. Sidhu? Keeping busy?
Oh, another wedding.
Good, good. Busy is good, Hannah.
Instincts. Chefs live by them. Something about Varma was odd. I could taste it. Guilt. Anything interesting come in? You haven't put much my way lately.
There's not much going on.
You got that nervous tick you get when you drink too much chai, and you only drink too much chai when you've got a secret. Have you got a secret, Mr. Varma?
Now, Mrs. Sidhu.
Let's see. You've heard something. Something about a catering job?
I'm not answering another question from your twisted tongue.
What's that tucked behind your ear?
A pen, that's all.
Let me see it. Aha. Mrs. Prakesh Catering Enterprises. Is that the price of loyalty, Mr. Varma?
She gave me literally hundreds of them, free. And you wouldn't want this new job anyway. You're fed up of weddings.
So it is a wedding.
Damn it.
Spill it, or you'll have pens stuck in all your orifices.
It's out of Slough. Big house out in Berkshire. Lord and Lady Lucas. I promised Mrs. Prakesh I'd tell her first.
Mrs. Prakesh is a wonderful woman, full of charm. I like Mrs. Prakesh. Soften him up. The Indian psyche is riddled with doubt. For Mr. Varma, only two things in life are certain: death and tax avoidance. Of course, there's the food poisoning aspect of things. And now the killer punch. The Asian psyche's soft parts. Paperwork. Is her hygiene certificate up to date, I wonder?
Oh. You know, I'm having second thoughts about these pens.
Are you?
Maybe I'll return them. And maybe you'll be able to cover the Lord and Lady Lucas wedding.
Me? Oh, well, I hadn't even considered it. Lord and Lady Lucas, you say? I'm sure I can fit them in somewhere. While my husband was alive, apart from Windsor Castle and Beaconscott Model Village, he never much liked to venture out of Slough. What's the need? He said. Slough's got everything. It's got buses, it's got a Debenhams. The only thing it lacks is a castle and a 1 to 12 scale model village. He was a man who knew what he liked. But being a chef has broadened my horizons. It takes me all sorts of wonderful places. Places like Lapsley Hall. I approached in my Nissan Micra with a boot full of hope, aluminium cookware and melted ghee. It was Middlemarch with Chelsea tractors, Downton Abbey with patio heaters, a long gravel drive and wide rolling lawns, and a lake with fat koi carp. And striding across the grounds... You must be the happy couple.
Josh Lucas?
I'm Jemma.
Mrs. Sidhu of Sidhu High Class Catering. Fine food for Berkshire's elite, my card. Please ignore the turmeric stain.
Jems and I are so glad you've come.
Well, you make a very handsome couple.
Oh, cheers. Oh, thank you.
Mums and Pops think so. And Gemma's stolen their hearts right away, haven't you?
They've been very kind, letting us use the hall for the wedding.
Well, least they could do for the son and heir.
And a 3-day wedding. Tell me, is either of you secretly Indian?
The Lucases don't do things by halves.
Pre-wedding parties, meetings, glad-handing, big yawns, I'm afraid. Mum's wants a trade fair more than a wedding. Uses the old place to impress.
Oh, and it does. What a beautiful garden.
Yeah, it's a Japanese design.
Yeah, it's in the Muromachi style.
Oh, look out. Someone swallowed a library.
Some of us didn't go to Eton, though I'm told the bullying was merciless.
Oh, it was, but I swear I'll go out of it, Mrs. Sidhu. Look, I'm late for a thing, meeting some of the fellas, last days of freedom and all that.
Oh, give over.
Must say, I am looking forward to some of your scrummy food, Mrs. Sidhu. Leave you in Jem's capables?
Well, I could eat him up with a spoon. You're a lucky girl. And there's a pause, an instant too long with the reply.
I am. Let me show you the kitchen.
Oh, it's not often you get the bride helping in the kitchen.
I like it in here. Feels real.
You're not what I expected.
How did the pretty peasant girl snag the dishy millionaire?
I didn't mean that. I did mean that.
You're not the first to ask. The gossip mags are lapping it up.
Forgive me, I'm behind with my reading.
I was his nurse.
No.
Seriously? Saturday night, A&E, you can imagine. And in walks Prince Charming with a grazed hand. There was a small scuffle.
Oh.
And that was between me and the other nurses fighting to get to him. Made small talk, flirted a bit. We dated. He invited me to meet his parents. What I didn't know was his dad is Lord Lucas.
Oh, none of that is of any interest to me. I'm just a simple chef. Now, in Slough, we have a saying, better get the menu done or everyone goes hungry. Yeah, it's better in Punjabi. Now, this menu...
What is it?
Oh, it's nothing.
Oh, come on.
Everyone has little diffs when they're getting married.
We haven't.
Of course not. It doesn't matter that he's richer than you and his parents are paying for the wedding.
Now, hold on.
You've chosen all the low-budget items and you've taken vindaloo off the menu. It's his favourite dish, isn't it?
Might be.
Yeah, you're clever and sensitive, but you have a temper and you take your revenge in small, quiet ways. And you've got your doubts about marrying into the Lord Lucas clan. Though I don't like to pry.
Jemma?
This is my mum.
Oh, hello. Your daughter is a great help.
Mrs. Sidhu's the caterer.
Oh, thank God. I can't wait for a decent curry. Last night it was fish. No batter, just fish.
The Philistines.
I've been touring the house. They've got 12 bedrooms and 3 reception rooms.
Mum, I'm not marrying the reception rooms.
I'd marry Attila the Hun for 3 reception rooms.
Oh, that's odd.
What?
The dishwasher's running, but it's only got 2 plates, a wine glass and a spoon in it.
What's the problem with that?
Lucky you're marrying a millionaire. No one else could afford to keep you.
What?
They just don't understand at this age, do they?
Oh, take a look at this.
Diamond white Supermax Ultra Powerball dishwasher tablets with the red dot, the blue square and the white triangle.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
But they're the best on the market.
Oh, great. I start liking someone, they turn into my mum.
Ignore her, Mrs. Sidhu. I'd save up all my best dishes just to use one of these on them. Wasted on 2 plates, a glass and a spoon.
Someone certainly wanted them cleaned thoroughly.
I told you, money to burn.
I must admit, I did take the liberty of exploring Lapsley Hall, and not wishing to be discovered, I did hide behind a door when I heard raised voices. But the great thing about being a domestic is that people trust your professional discretion. I never listen in.
Mum, has there been any word about Bryony?
Oh, you know what she's like. Probably some pair of trousers she's chasing.
You're talking about my chief bridesmaid.
I hardly ever listen in.
Chief Trollop, more like. And you're moving in higher circles now.
She was here last night.
Well, there's no sign of her now.
Did you see her?
Any minute now, I will stop listening.
No, I did not. Wish I had. I could kill her for what she's done.
I am not getting married without her.
Oh, what a moment for my phone to go off.
Mrs. Sidhu?
Is that you? Behind that door?
Isn't this the lavatory? I do get confused with these big houses. If you'll excuse me, I'll just take this call. Des, I'm busy.
Mum, you got to listen to me. I've been watching this so-called Lucy.
Oh, tell her I'm sorry not to be there to greet her personally. I got held up.
Huh. Is you aware that she is French?
Yeah, it had occurred to me.
Yeah, well, I'm watching her and she's putting garlic in everything.
It is Indian food.
She is doing it in a very French style.
Oh, fusion. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Mum, we Brits has got to stick together against the old enemy, innit?
I really am very busy.
I can do anything she can do. You don't need her. You need a Desi on this.
Well, you're managing wonderfully. I'll be in touch very soon. Bye.
Mum.
Ask anyone and they'll tell you that Mrs. Sidhu doesn't like to pry. But there was some odd business about Bryony disappearing. On the other hand, this was the best job I'd had in, well, ever. I couldn't wait to try out my fusion lamb masala soufflé. So I took Jemma for a walk in the garden to calm her down.
I don't really mind.
Oh, I was looking for the lavatory, so I barely heard anything.
I have to talk to someone about it. Mum doesn't listen. Josh is in his own world. Bryony's my best friend.
I did hear that bit.
She was in my bedroom last night. I was half asleep, but I am certain of it.
And I heard that bit.
I'm really worried about her. Where could she have gone? You're the only person here who's listening to me.
Maybe you can help.
Little me. What can I do?
I don't know.
Though there are intriguing aspects.
Like what?
The dishwasher.
Oh.
Yeah, that's very strange. And this, I noticed this earlier.
What? A puddle?
It didn't rain last night. The grass is dry, and it's 10 yards from the lake.
Bryony said something while I was falling asleep.
What was that?
I can only half remember it. She said we were mates forever and she'd look after me. Then something about going to see someone about a man?
Not see a man?
I don't think so.
What a strange thing to say. Why would you say that?
I don't know. And there's something else.
A bracelet?
It's Bryony's. It's a medical alert bracelet. She's allergic to penicillin like me. We got identical ones. We gave them to each other when we passed our nursing exams.
Well, yeah, it's a bit on the nose, but it's quite good.
I found it.
Where?
The East Wing corridor.
You don't sound very sure, my dear.
But it proves she was here. I wasn't dreaming.
There was something very strange about this little story, but it was solid evidence. I think I can help. I have had some experience with the police.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Over the years, I've made a large number of complaints and observations. And yeah, the police know me well. They even have a file on me, I'm told.
It's going to be my next top priority, Chief Inspector. Today it's golf clubs. Tomorrow it's the Crown Jewels. Now, we'll get them back for you, sir. Yeah. Enter.
Sir, you have a visitor.
Send them in, Sergeant.
Sir.
What is it, Sergeant?
It's her.
Oh, don't be silly. We're miles from Slough.
I think she got out.
Oh. Tell her I'm busy. No. Tell her I'm out. But no, tell her I'm retired. In fact, no, tell her...
Burton! You could hide out here in the countryside. I've tracked you down.
Oh, Mrs. Sidhu, what an unexpected pleasure.
Oh, I know. It took me ages to look you up. What a wonderful coincidence, huh? We're working in the same manner. And now, that's literally true.
What are the chances?
I hadn't seen Inspector Burton for some time. I wondered how to break the awkward silence in the car. Shall I bring you up to speed on the case?
There is no case. I want to be clear on this. There is no case.
Well, I'll just tell you what's happened then.
No, thank you.
What?
What? Well, you stalk me out here, you come breezing into my office. Before you know it, you've got me speeding you about in a police car. It's like the Fast and the Furious, and I'm Mr. Furious.
Wish you were Mr. Fast. Actually, I shouldn't complain. When my late husband had his final heart attack, Burton was the one who ordered the police escort to the hospital. It was all over by the time we got there, but it was a kind thing to do.
I took the advanced driver's test.
Again? Oh, and how much did you fail by?
The smallest margin ever. You try doing it with a police instructor shouting at you, go faster, go faster. She was very huffy.
I shouldn't have got started on the driving. Change of tack to career. Much to do out here in the countryside?
We've had a big drive on postcode security stamps on bicycles, and also we put in a float at a gay pride event. Got a very good response on Twitter.
Oh, thrilling.
It's called community policing, and I happen to like it. Like it more than mysterious stabbings or weird clues.
The career's a touchy area, obviously. Let's try personal life. So, how was the divorce?
Slightly more enjoyable than hemorrhoids, though without the novelty factor of sitting on a special cushion.
Oh. And how are the...
Do you know, maybe we should talk about the case. Crikey. That is some house.
Yes, it's quite a stately home. I brought Inspector Burton up to speed with the facts as they stood. So, you see, you've got to put out a description.
She's not at risk. She's not been gone a day. Wait 24 hours.
Oh, who knows what'll happen to her by then?
Well, I don't know what you expect me to do.
Ask a few questions in your spare time. You got lots of spare time.
I could be in a relationship. What makes you think I'm still single?
You made your own breakfast. Egg, toast, beans, and Marmite on toast. It's all there on your tie.
Get off.
Well, you know best. Oh, now, something here is wrong. Bryony Pickett is a missing person. Maybe worse.
All right. I'll ask some questions. Just stay in the background.
I give you my word. As an auntie and a Punjabi.
Don't mind my shoes.
Oh, sorry.
And no gossiping.
Indian chefs never gossip. I got that from another Indian chef.
I don't actually have cause to investigate.
You don't need it. You've got charm.
Thank you for seeing us, Your Lordship.
Well, now, what's all this about?
May I ask, you are the Lord Lucas of Lucas Go?
I'm afraid so.
I think your inventions are brilliant. I still have your onionizer. It cuts as it grates, as it chops, as it cuts. Nothing cuts finer than an onionizer.
Old hat now.
My friend Mrs. Brakesh bought 3, though she is one laddu short of an Ambala gift selection, if you know what I mean.
No.
Inspector Burton, I'm also a huge fan. I've got a pair of your nasal hair trimmers, which I bought for a friend. And forgot to give him, hence I still have them. Good.
Well, I'm putting the onion choppers and the beard trimmers behind me.
Oh, what's next?
I did like the slippers with the torchlights in the toes.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. So useful.
I'm not doing that sort of thing anymore.
Well, the slippers will be ripe for a comeback.
Yeah, it's a growing market, Grey Pound. As people get older, it's common to make at least 1 or 2 trips to the smallest room during the night.
Well, I'm lucky if it's just twice. Sorry, I seem to be hogging the floor again. Mrs. Sidhu?
Oh, I still wish I had that gadget that got the fluff off your jacket.
That was a masterpiece. Joe, I've got a jacket at home. Only wore it once, completely covered in fluff. I can't wear it at all now.
No, that's exactly
I must
what
have
I'm
spent
saying.
£25 dry cleaning
Yeah,
it.
you
of
could
course.
have saved
Well, I
yourself
could.
It's
much.
not what I'm doing.
Oh, yes. Sorry. So what are you doing next?
You ready for this?
I can't wait.
It's high-speed delivery drones.
Oh,
The nasal trimmers are very good.
the jacket defuzzer is a triumph.
No, it's drones.
All right. It's drones.
Not the flying ones, old hat. No, these ones go along the ground very fast. 0 to 60 in 10 seconds. And less emissions than a vegan push bike.
And is that how you come to be on crutches?
Teething problems with the self-driving software. The prototype caught me below the knees. What is it you want?
The chief bridesmaid, Bryony, hasn't turned up.
Don't want to make a fuss, just a few questions.
Well, if it's anything to do with this blasted wedding, you'd better ask Cynthia. She's doing one of her ridiculous staff briefings.
One final thing. We will shortly have a new caterer. Meanwhile, because of the arcane laws in our country, we must bid farewell to our chef, Kong Lee, and wish him the best of luck with his court case. That'll be all.
Cynthia, this is Mrs. Sidhu, the new caterer, and Inspector Burton.
Ah, a policeman. How can a man go to prison for cockfighting? If cocks want to fight, why shouldn't they?
We are worried about Bryony.
Yeah, Your Ladyship, all we want to do is ask a few questions of the staff and guests.
I'm busy. Carlos, where's the bride's corsage?
Signore.
No, too much white. She's not a virgin.
Ma'am?
I can't allow you to interfere with the smooth running of my wedding.
Your son's wedding.
Do you see Josh doing the play settings or organising the press photo shoot or the foreign investors cocktail reception in just 2 days? Not to mention the wedding itself is only 3 days away.
It's just a few questions.
Yeah, that's right.
And have the police quizzing everyone about Bryony? Over my dead body. Or preferably hers. Just on the say-so of this cook.
Mrs. Sidhu has been of some assistance to the police in the past. She has certain instincts about people.
Oh, really? What do you think about me?
Well,
That isn't always a good idea.
Nonsense. Go on.
I imagine, yes, you like salmon, potatoes dauphinoise, and let me see, carrots, julienne, sugar snap peas, perhaps green beans. For dessert, syllabub, or maybe a pavlova with strawberries.
That was the exact meal I had at my own wedding. How did you know?
Nervous people stick to familiar foods during stressful times.
Nonsense. I am not a nervous person.
You take pills to control it. Your hand shakes, and your skin has signs of water retention, which comes from certain kinds of medication. Though, obviously, I don't like to pry.
Can you tell us anything about Bryony?
Actually, yes. A bit of a coincidence. She was a friend of the family when she was little and harmless. She was Reg Pickett's daughter. You remember, Wally?
old history, like the nose trimmers. I put it behind me.
Wally and Reg were partners. When they split, Reg committed suicide soon after and left no money. Bryony seems to blame us.
But why did you split?
Reg Pickett was a plodder. Mediocre, a bean counter at best. I carried that man for as long as I could.
It's not our fault that he didn't provide for Bryony. Wally made good investments. Reg always made bad ones.
You must provide for your young, whatever it takes. You agree, Mrs. Sidhu?
Yes, to a point.
I'd better get back to my work. It takes me all day to get across the lawn on these things.
Well, get someone to help you.
I can manage, Cynthia.
You see, it was Wally's name on all the patents, so he rebuilt the company after Reg died. We like to think there isn't much that can stop the Lucases. Oh, Wally!
Lord Lucas seems to have taken a fall.
My place settings.
I'm fine.
You have to excuse me.
We'll just make discreet inquiries.
Well,
He doesn't want to have to get a warrant.
Shut up.
You've got nothing to worry about, have you?
of course not. But I'll give you a time limit.
I accept.
I believe 48 hours is traditional. I'll give you until the cocktail party day after tomorrow. Then we'll hear no more about it.
Thank you, Lady Lucas. We'll be very discreet.
Des, I really am very busy. I'll be home soon.
Mum, you've got to help me. I think I'm dying.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
I'm losing consciousness.
Des.
Mum, this is very strange. It's very dizzy.
You sound fine to me.
Oh, that's good. Then they're real.
What's real?
These angels that look like Auntie Dippy.
You can't be serious.
I love you, Mum.
All right, this is serious.
Hello?
Madame Lepinois?
I cannot work under these conditions. There is blood everywhere.
What's going on? Put Des back on.
The ambulance is here. I have to go. Adieu.
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates, Murder with Masala, is written by Suk Pannu and directed by Marilyn Imre. It stars Meera Syal, Justin Edwards, Amy Morgan, Vincent Ebrahim, Rachel Atkins, and Hamza Jetooa. It is produced by Gordon Kennedy and is an absolutely production for the BBC.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe.
Mrs. Sidhu of Sidhu High Class Catering. Fine food for Berkshire's elite. My card. Please ignore the turmeric stain.
Pre-wedding parties, meetings, glad-handing. Big yawns, I'm afraid. Mum's wants a trade fair more than a wedding.
A 3-day wedding? Tell me, is either of you secretly Indian?
She has so many children, she didn't know what to do.
It's Bryony's. It's a medical alert bracelet. She's allergic to penicillin like me.
She gave them some broth, without any bread.
Bryony Pickett is a missing person. Maybe worse.
All we want is to ask a few questions.
I'm putting the onion choppers and beard trimmers behind me. It's high-speed delivery drones.
Wally and Reg were partners. When they split, Reg committed suicide soon after and left no money. Bryony seemed to blame us.
What's happening? What are you doing?
She whipped them all soundly.
Please. No. No.
Mum, you've got to help me. I think I'm dying.
Des.
The ambulance is here. I have to go. Adieu.
And put them to bed.
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates Murder with Masala by Suk Pannu. Episode 2 The Peril of the Poisoned Puddle.
The morning in a chef's kitchen is a quiet time. But today was different. I have to admit some excitement. While catering a society wedding at Lapsley Hall, the maid of honour had disappeared, and I seemed to be in the middle of a missing person case. But that's not the half of it. Today, I had problems closer to home in Slough. A Sikh father of the bride hadn't had his samosas delivered. Yes, Mr. Singh, everything will be ready on time. No, Mr. Singh, there won't be any more mistakes. It takes a master to find the real poetry in the Punjabi tongue.
Chef, the mise en place is done.
Oh, thank goodness. Get the oil hot and the batter ready. Split-second timing. Fortunately, I had Lucy Lepinois. Quick, efficient and professional. So how come I was playing catch-up?
Eyes back.
Meet Employee of the Month, a.k.a. my son, Des. Des had decided to show Lucy, my cordon bleu trained sous chef, the right way to cut an onion. And that is how he sliced the tip of his finger off. So soon?
Huh. They call it a hospital.
At our end, the blood samosas experiment was a failure.
It wasn't an experiment, Mum. I was hurt.
2 millimetres off the tip of his index.
The doctors don't know nothing. Remember when you and Dad wanted me to be a doctor? Mum, remember? And I'm like, no way. I'm really good at video games. I'll be all right, thank you very much.
And you proved us all wrong.
Yeah, doctors, what do they even know?
Excuse me, Lucy, I just want to use a blender for a minute.
But it is empty.
When I asked the bloke if it will grow back, he's like, what? And I'm like, if you don't know, mate, just say so.
Oh, it stopped.
At one point, I thought I wasn't going to make it. There was a long tunnel with a light at the end, but then I'm realising I'm sitting in a corridor because A&E is full. At least with Brexit, we can spend our money on our NHS, innit?
Honestly, all this fuss over a tiny bit of finger. Back when my husband had his second heart attack, Bertha, I called that one. I named them like tropical storms. We were in and out of hospital all the time. In fact, we got to quite like the place. A nice bed, meals brought right to your room, almost like a holiday. Wexham Park. It even sounded like a hotel. I discovered that if you pulled the curtain round the bed, closed your eyes and listened, it almost sounded like the sea. Of course, it was the wheezy breathing from the man in bed number 3, but it was still good. And just like a vacation, we'd make friends with the regulars. And of course, we'd promise to keep in touch. And of course, we'd never hear from them again, though the reason for that became sadly clear. I used to joke with my husband that we should book 2 weeks next year in September, if only he could time his next one. But, well, after Bertha, there was the big one, Cassandra, and it never happened. Lucy, would you take the fresh samosas out, please?
I wouldn't say no.
Oi! Hands off. These are for the Singh wedding. Lucy, pack these for delivery and let's get them out.
Yes, chef.
Is that detecting the tiniest bit of a futon?
Frisson. It's getting through, is it?
Okay, hands up. I'm prepared to accept that Lucy is not entirely responsible for last night's debacle.
Really?
What can I do to make it up to you? I can answer the phones. I is trained in call center kung fu. Who? Hi. How? May I help you today?
Give me that.
Mrs. Sidhu?
My departed husband had a saying. When things go wrong, you find out who your friends are. Oh, Mr. Varma. Mr. Singh is upset. Can't he show a little understanding?
There's very little of it in the cash and carry game, but I'll talk him down.
Thank you.
And don't lose track of the Lapsley Hall job.
But Varma's friendship was always conditional. Now I owed him. Oh, I'm on my way there now. Mr. Varma, it is going to be a big fat order, I promise.
I never doubted you. Talk later.
I once took my late husband to a National Trust house. Sadly, the gardens only depressed him. I can't compete with these standards, he said. They've put my patio to shame and humbled my lawn. And we never went back. But there are always second chances. Here I was, among the well-tended gardens of Lapsley Hall. I went straight to the ancestral dining room and served up breakfast. The first to arrive was Lord Lucas, eccentric gadget millionaire.
What's this?
Wedding breakfast sample. Kedgeree, salmon fumme, sourdough toast, heirloom tomatoes.
Better than the usual. Do me a plate. Blasted crutches.
Thought you'd have invented some new kind of wheelchair. Lord Lucas made his fortune in handy gadgets, beard trimmers and onion choppers, but was moving into high-tech. That was how he broke his legs.
Cast'll come off soon.
Next to arrive was Mrs. Broghan, mother of the bride.
Ooh, this looks very classy. I'll take 2 fried slice with mine.
Of course. Lucy, fried slice, jaldi jaldi.
Yes, chef. I go now.
Finally, Lady Lucas, followed by her mysterious servant, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos.
Signora.
My chair could use pushing in, Carlos. Carlos. Do it myself then, shall I?
Breakfast, Lady Lucas.
It's good. You should have some, Cynthia.
Is it too much to ask that you attend my regular morning staff and family briefing?
What was it today? Found a dirty spoon? Napkin folding guidelines?
The prototype, Wally. We have the Chinese coming in 45 minutes.
Don't pressure me, Cynthia.
You haven't had a proper breakthrough in years.
You're forgetting my foray into personal computing.
The Bilberry 9000.
I had fruity names long before your apples and your apricots. It would have been a success, but I had trouble with the hard drives.
Oh, is that the cause of the scarring on your hands?
Yes, well, they whiz round incredibly fast, and as the name will tell you, they're very hard.
Mrs. Sidhu, as your employer, I thought we should touch base. Is that the expression?
Lady Lucas had not taken kindly to the disruption from the police. Aren't the happy couple dealing with the arrangements?
If you had been at my morning briefing, you would know they won't have time. What with the inspector interviewing everyone?
No hard feelings, then?
Now, I may not be such a keen judge of character, but I do know that chefs relish a challenge.
I cut my teeth in Slough, Lady Macbeth. In a community where no one can decide if they want pakoras or golgappas, and a simple head count is an exercise in higher mathematics, do your worst.
I've changed the menu. Completely.
Bloody hell.
Isn't it fun?
It's a joy.
As you can see, we want it all locally sourced, organic. Who's your supplier?
True answer. Mr Varma, tax dodger and cash and carry owner, Slough. They are a very old family. Mr Varma goes all the way back to the Raj.
Does he?
Never misses the all-you-can-eat buffet. Goes in every Saturday night for 2 poppadoms and a chicken biryani.
I'm sure he's fine for snacks and crisps or whatever, but I'm expecting 2 ambassadors and a software millionaire. I'm talking quality with a capital Q.
That could be a problem. Varma spells it with a capital K. So, will Josh be joining us for breakfast?
Doubt it. Always out late, that boy.
And Jemma?
I think she's with your inspector chap in the garden.
Oh, please excuse me. I must get to my work. I would have to break the bad news to Varma later. But for now, I took the scenic route to the kitchen via the Japanese garden. Inspector! Jemma!
Mrs. Sidhu.
Are you all right?
I took a shortcut that happened to take me past you.
Why are you puffing?
Yeah, it was quite a long shortcut. How are your inquiries?
Getting nowhere?
I'm afraid I don't remember that much. It was 2 a.m, but she talked to me in my bedroom. I'm sure of it. Bryony?
I go for a walk in the garden.
It's so late.
Yeah, well, it's so gorgeous, isn't it?
Has there been any change in her behaviour recently?
Actually, she picked up a bit last week. Said she found something that was going to turn the clock back.
How very interesting.
Could have been a beauty treatment for all we know. Well, thank you, Miss. Mrs. Sidhu, you said you had some solid evidence.
Yeah. If you'll take a look here. Inspector Burton and I didn't always see eye to eye, but he would not be able to dispute the facts. No rain for weeks, yeah? And yet, a puddle over here.
Oh, please, no.
Are you all right, Inspector?
Oh, I mean, is this it? I mean, I've just cheesed off the 3rd most titled people in the home counties for this evidence.
I should explain that Inspector Burton has always been prone to this kind of reaction. But it's unusual to see in a senior policeman, I know. This was not the first time.
No. Just keep breathing.
He's having a panic attack.
Inspector Burton could run around and rugby tackle any number of criminals with no ill effects at all. In fact, he insists it only happens when I'm around. I theorised it might be a pheromonal reaction to my perfume. Tweed by Lontheric and Onions by Verma. Better?
Yes. Yes, I think it's better now.
Good. So, about my evidence.
Oh no, it's coming back.
This bloody perfume. When we finally had things under control, I was able to return to my concerns about the poodle.
Well, you must admit, it's not easy to explain.
There's got to be more evidence than that. Please.
Of course there's more. The dishwasher had been run and there was barely anything in it. Who runs a half-full dishwasher, Inspector?
Obviously only a psychopath.
Yeah, you see? And Jemma, you found something?
Yes?
No, I didn't.
Oh, great. I'll see if anyone else saw or found anything. I do love the easy ones.
Jemma, why didn't you tell him about the bracelet?
Because, oh God, I didn't want this.
What don't you want?
I didn't find the bracelet in the corridor.
Where did you find it, Jemma?
You won't tell the inspector, will you?
Go away.
Sorry, was I come in? I didn't hear you.
Mrs. Sidhu, charmed, as per.
Oh, well, I've bought you some coffee and some toast.
I can't face anything.
Oh, my goodness, what is that on your shoe? Oh, shit.
I must have walked through some horse manure last night.
Big night?
Yeah, a few of the blokes, couple of places. Berkshire has its flesh pots.
Well, I want you to look at something for me. Tell me, do you recognise this?
Gemma's manacle.
It's Bryony Pickett's. They both have identical ones.
Well?
The interesting thing is, it was found in your room.
I see.
Josh, do you have some logical explanation for Bryony being in your room?
All right, I do, as a matter of.
Well then, no problem.
Bryony and I had sex. Several times, actually.
Here? In your own bed?
Yeah, not just the bed.
Yeah, oh, OK, I get the picture.
But it was over ages ago, I swear it. Found out pretty quick that she's got a chip on her shoulder.
So why did she make such a play for you?
I think it was a way of getting back at my family. Jemma wasn't too pleased at the time. They had a flaming fight. A lot of stuff came out.
Like what?
Well, like I said, Bryony has a lot of childhood baggage. Bit of a daddy's girl. Mum's was livid. Banned her from Lapsley Hall on pain off.
Really? And you're quite sure you didn't see her that night?
Cross my and hope to. In fact, I'm doing everything I can to make it up to Jems. Mrs. Sidhu, you have a son, don't you?
Yeah, sadly, I can't deny it.
People should be allowed to put right their mistakes, shouldn't they?
What's the expression? Boys will be boys. This one had big blue eyes and looked like he was about to cry. Does remind me a bit about my own son, actually.
Do tell.
I mean, it's not like theirs. That's my son is much good with the opposite sex.
Go on.
Well, he'd see a girl and he'd get a thing for them overnight.
That's exactly what happens to me.
He'd see them at the supermarket or at the bus stop.
Or Biarritz. I mean, that's a good place. Loads of it. Met these 3 girls there once. I'm just empathising. Yeah, go on. Yeah, bus stops.
Yeah, and he'd get an obsession. Start following them around like a little puppy, really. Then I'd have to get involved, sort it all out, stop them bringing charges. I mean, he's completely harmless.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, substitute the south of France for this Slough place, and we're the same. And in my case, none of the girls was pregnant, thank God, so all ended well.
Yes, exactly the same. I didn't know if I could really trust Josh Lucas or not.
When I'm in trouble, Mum's looks after me. Not so very different. And Gemma's the best thing ever. I mean, she's taking me out of all that. I mean, why spoil it all now? And that's what'll happen if this gets out. Press will be all over it. It'd kill the wedding. Please, Mrs. Sidhu, I'm begging you.
Oh, blast. What is it?
Mrs. Sidhu, how are things on the Lapsley Hall job?
Oh, Mr Varma, it's you. I've been meaning to call you.
I've been expecting a delivery time.
Yeah, of course. And is it possible to cancel at this late stage?
Mrs. Sidhu, I've got garden fresh produce here, and it's defrosting. Jaldi.
Varma, the consummate gourmand. Mr Varma, this is very difficult for me to say, but I better come right out and say it.
Yes?
I could smell fear in his voice, the primal, most Asian fear. Losing money. What could I say? Oh, reception's not good.
Hello? Mrs. Sidhu? Hello?
Going through a tunnel.
Tunnel? There's no tunnels around here. I'll call you back on your landline.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Work, innit? Hello? How may I help you today?
Tess? Is that you?
There's no Tez here. Let's just call me Tez.
Tess, I need to speak to your mother.
I can't help you without a username and a password.
What? Just put your mother on.
It would be actually and literally illegal for me to do that. I could go to prison for leaking data like them Jedward Snowden blokes.
Listen, just tell her to call me back soon.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Ulu.
Rude.
So I said to the Chief Constable, and that's not my baton, sir. Never seen a man move so fast.
Ah,
I got a huge laugh at the Christmas party.
quite the storyteller.
Well, yeah, I do have my moments, yeah. Oh, nice cuppa.
Thank you, Inspector. Carlos, you may withdraw.
Oh, hello.
Yes, quite.
Signor.
Inspector, we seem to be getting on so well.
Yes, normally I have trouble with social occasions. They're always awkward.
Oh, it's your charm itself.
Yeah.
I want to cooperate with your investigation.
What's this?
A list of approved locations to search. That way my guests have minimum disruption and you won't need to get those awful search warrants.
Thank you. I'm sure we can put a quick end.
Carlos, I said no Mrs. Sidhu.
Oh, pardon me. I had no idea you were... Oh, Inspector, there you are. I was going to ask how the search for Bryony was coming along.
Because of Lady Lucas's good graces, we have an approved list of search locations, including the house and surrounding property.
Approved places?
Inspector, I won't keep you any longer.
Yes, indeed. Duty calls.
Not your baton. Priceless.
What are you cooking?
Butter chicken.
Oh, can I have some?
No.
Don't be like that. What kind of a choice did I have?
Don't know.
We have a startling lack of evidence. No warrant without probable cause.
Muzzled.
Hardly. No, look at this list. I can search any of the rooms and all the grounds. And there's something else.
What's that?
It appears that Bryony Pickett registered a will a week ago. There's only one beneficiary. Your Jemma Broghan.
What?
It's true.
But Gemma's about to marry a multimillionaire.
And Bryony is a penniless nurse. But there you have it.
It was true that Jemma had not been completely truthful with me. And there was Josh's statement that she and Bryony had had a row. How very interesting.
So, what was so important you had to interrupt my nice cup of tea?
Just tittle-tattle and gossip.
Spill it.
I'm sure you'll find out over Earl Grey with Lady Lucas.
You bear a grudge, you do. You're very grudgy.
Let me see that search list again.
Yeah.
You'd better get started.
What?
Lots to do. Take you all day.
What? What is it? What have I missed?
I didn't tell him anything. He was Lady Lucas's dog now. She could feed him. I was on my own until I could find something concrete. There was a place that wasn't on the list. I remembered Josh's shoes. Straw and manure equals stables. I wondered what I would find there. Oh, locked. Should have known. Someone was coming. I took cover behind the straw bales.
Coming in?
I just had time to see Josh Lucas unlocking the door. I caught a glimpse of a girl, tall, with dark hair.
Let me out.
Get back in there.
You can't do this.
I can do what I want.
Josh Lucas. My instincts had let me down. A cold-faced liar with angel eyes.
I've done everything I can.
You're not going anywhere until I get what I want.
Oh, my.
You're sure about this?
I saw what I saw. What should I do?
We do this properly. I'll talk to the Chief Inspector, get a warrant and back up. Might be tomorrow morning.
We can't wait that long. Who knows what he's doing in there?
I'll do what I can.
Hello? Mum?
I better go.
I'll call you when I have news.
Close your eyes.
I'm sorry, son. I'm not in the mood.
Just close your eyes. It's a surprise.
And what a surprise it was.
I got dinner.
Oh, and all from somewhere called Chicken Shack. Entertaining with Des 101. First, hygiene. Wipe hands on trousers. Food. Move deep-fried chicken gizzards from bucket to paper napkins, taking care to soak up all the extra oil before it spreads across your lap. To drink. Decant the fizzy drinks and allow to stand for 0 minutes, making sure they're cold enough to destroy any flavour and numb your back teeth. Then sit back, relax, and enjoy the out-of-this-world conversation.
Yeah, okay, but if there isn't aliens, why do all them cows go missing in New Mexico? That's all I'm asking.
This is very kind, Des. I don't know what I've done to deserve it. I really don't.
It's my treat. You's keeping me and I's earning good money now. I is earning good money now, innit?
I'll get my purse.
Nah, it can wait till after dinner. I could talk like this forever.
Good news. It feels like forever already.
What would Dad say?
Your dad? He never said much.
He'd be proud, right? Us working together, wouldn't he?
I go home now, Chef.
Lucy. Want to stay for dinner?
But this is family time.
Lucy is family now. Come on, pull up a chair.
Oh, Mum.
Lucy, how are you finding England?
Good.
When you going back?
Des, if you can't say something nice.
I saw something on the internet. A man in Texas has a nose growing out of his back.
Lucy's not interested in that. Let's ask Lucy what she wants to talk about. Lucy?
Whereabouts on his back?
On his shoulder blade.
I saw that.
I was wrong. The aliens have invaded. Inspector Burton?
It's all in place. We're ready to move in. I'm just heading over there myself.
Do I have to come?
No, there's no need.
In that case, pick me up on your way.
Yeah, but it's not on my...
Oh, what a shame. The police need me. I have to go.
But, Mum, dinner, we was talking.
Des, I forgive you, yeah? All that business with the samosas is forgotten, and there is no need to buy me dinner ever again.
But, Mama!
Don't wait up!
I can't believe it. I'm in the middle of an operation and you get me to pick you up. So I haven't got enough to do.
I had a distinct memory of Inspector Burton's earlier panic attack, and though I had changed perfume, we didn't need a repeat of that. Distract him with small talk. Have you got plenty of handcuffs?
What?
Oh, is that the kind of thing you have to think about?
I don't know how many handcuffs we have. Oh, great, there's a new thing to worry about.
No. Do you ever use armoured vehicles?
Do I ever use armoured vehicles? For what?
In principle, could an operation like this use an armoured vehicle?
I work in Newbury, not Waco. What are you on about?
All right. I'm just trying to keep your mind off things. Calm the nerves.
Why would I be nervous?
Exactly.
Although, now you mention it, I am under a lot of pressure. Oh, the hoops I had to jump through to get operational approval beggars belief. I mean, does, say, an estate agent have to put up with that? Or the manager of an artisanal cafe? Makes me wonder what the hell I'm doing with my life.
You're drifting.
It does feel that way sometimes.
You're driving against traffic.
That's the way the job is. If people don't like it, they can lump it.
You're on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, wrong side of the road, wrong side of the tracks. I didn't get into this job. Right. Burton.
Sir.
What is it, Sergeant?
The Chief Inspector's been on the line. We're all ready. He wants to know what the delay is.
Short detour. Be right there.
That's right, Sergeant. On our way.
Sorry, sir. You put the operation off to pick up her.
It's my call, Sergeant. It's her tip-off. She's got the right to be there. Understood?
Roger that and out, sir.
I mean, I couldn't be wrong. Could I?
No one in or out. All quiet.
Too quiet.
All right. Move in, Sergeant.
Sir.
Why have we been dragged up here in the middle of the night? What's going on? I need my beauty sleep, I do.
No, it's too easy. Lady Lucas, would you open these doors, please?
I thought we had an understanding, Inspector. I'm very disappointed in you.
And me and you. A small something that's off your little list. The stables.
What's going on? Is it Bryony?
Inspector, make her open these doors.
Lady Lucas.
Come on, Cynthia. No point in secrets now.
What's going on? Close the door!
Oh, Mum, I can't look.
Jemma, darling, you shouldn't see this.
Oh, my God, Josh. What have you done?
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates, Murder with Masala, is written by Suk Pannu and directed by Marilyn Imrie. It stars Meera Syal, Justin Edwards, Amy Morgan, Vincent Ebrahim, Rachel Atkins, and Hamza Jetooa. It is produced by Gordon Kennedy and is an Absolutely production for the BBC.
There once was an old lady from Slough.
While catering a society wedding at Lapsley Hall, the maid of honour had disappeared.
Who cooked up a fuss? And how?
Who runs a half-full dishwasher, Inspector?
Obviously, only a psychopath.
No rain for weeks, and yet a puddle over here.
Bryony and I had sex. Well, several times, actually.
Murder here, murder there.
It appears that Bryony Pickett registered a will a week ago. There's only one beneficiary. Your Jemma Broghan.
Straw and manure equals stables.
You can't do this.
I can do what I want.
Come on, Cynthia. No point in secrets now.
What's happening? What are you doing?
Murder. She saw it everywhere.
No.
What's going on? Close that door.
Oh my God. Josh, what have you done?
Whatever has she found out now? Silly cow.
Mrs. Sidhu investigates Murder with Masala by Suk Pannu. Episode 3. Murder Corked.
This was supposed to be a surprise wedding present.
Oh, Josh, he's beautiful.
A thoroughbred stallion, good legs, strong haunches.
Amazeballs.
Josh?
Just trying to think of a good name.
And who might the young lady be?
Oh, I'm the breeder.
He's a bit feistier than Spec. Needs breaking in. We're doing it at night, so Jemma wouldn't suspect.
And that's what you've been doing in the stables.
What did you think was going on, Mrs. Sidhu?
Did you think I had Bryony all tied up in there?
Plenty of material for my morning briefing.
I suggest we all get back to bed.
But, Inspector, everything pointed to Josh. They must have done something. They moved her.
It's my way of saying sorry about all that Bryony business.
It's not easy to forgive.
I know I'm not perfect, but we can make it work. Just give me a chance.
Mrs. Sidhu?
I don't know what to say.
There's a first time for everything.
When I got home, it was 3 a.m. Des had gone to sleep and my bed had never looked so good. But after all the excitement, I doubted I would sleep. Like Mrs. Thatcher, I could survive on 4 or 5 hours of...
Did you think I had Bryony all tied up in there?
Plenty of material for my morning briefing.
Stop now, before you make things worse.
It's just a dream. It's just a dream. I woke up with a bad taste in my mouth. Humiliation. Maybe there was something in the bathroom cabinet that would rinse it out. What time was it? Des, can you hurry up in there?
What?
If you take them out,
Ow.
you might hear me. You shouldn't have let me sleep in.
I was up half the night myself. I was knacked in it.
Hang on, if you're out here, who's in the bathroom?
At last, I was crossing my legs.
Hello.
You alright, babe?
Lucy?
We had a late night, so Lucy stayed over.
Oh, of course.
Are you finishing the shower?
Perhaps I can get you a longer towel?
No. Merely plug hole. He is block.
Is he?
You okay, Mum? A bit of drain will sort it.
Everything is fine. Why shouldn't it be fine? It's all fine. Oh, happy day.
Great. I'm in next.
What? No. No! No! When I eventually got freshened up, I drove to Lapsley Hall. On the way, I had time to think. I couldn't believe that Des had finally pulled, and with no help from his mum. It only seemed like yesterday that my late husband took him out into the garden shed and gave him the talk. Des must have been 16 when my husband told him the facts of life, VAT returns, and how to kiss girls. He demonstrated VAT accounting with apples and pears, and he demonstrated how to kiss a girl on an overripe mango. Or was it the other way round? Well, either way, Des has always remained confused on the subjects of bookkeeping and what to do with girls. He likes his fruit, though. Mind you, Lucy isn't such a bad catch. Think about it. She's a very diligent chef, and she's attractive. And she's got good Punjabi hips. She could pop out grandchildren like Cousin Rajesh spitting apple pips. 1, 2, 3. Good looking, good prospects, good hips. She's the dream ticket. Makes you wonder what the heck she'd want with Des. He's never held a woman close to him. He's never even held a job for longer than 2 weeks. He's not going to sail away on Dreamboat Lucy. No. Forget the grandkids. Forget any prospect of a relationship with Des. Yeah, keep your mind on Lapsley Hall. But even there, fate mocked me. I was met by Jemma, dressed in a full wedding gown.
What do you think? Is it bad luck?
Oh, it's beautiful. Any word from Bryony?
Maybe I imagined I saw her. Maybe it was a dream. I mean, even you... Well, you,
Made a mistake. Made a fool of myself was closer.
Bet Bryony went on a pamper break. She'll walk in here any minute with a spray tan and a facial.
I've heard in Slough you can get the Indian wax. It goes right up to your knees.
Bryony?
Oh, you're not still on about her.
But, Mum...
Look, they've been patient, but now it's showtime.
The wedding wasn't until tomorrow. This was just the press shoot for the Lucas family. There's the groom. Rich, handsome, silver-tongued, and very sure of himself.
And here she is, the blushing. Over here, Gems. Snaps for the mags.
What wedding is without a photographer? Or 2 dozen?
Hey, Jemma, who designed the dress?
Let's not forget the happy parents.
Cynthia, I have rather a lot to do.
They want relaxed family shots, so relax.
God, bloody media circus. They're not going to start asking awkward questions, are they?
No.
Do I have to be at the party tonight?
Yes.
And at the centre of it all, the bride. A lamb to the slaughter, or the luckiest girl in the world.
Where's the maid of honour, Jemma?
She's... I'm sorry, I can't. I just can't.
Come on now, Gems. Let's keep it together for the Goss mags.
Why won't you talk to me? Where is she?
She came between us. I won't let her trouble us again.
Not here, Josh.
No, Mums.
I'm afraid our beautiful bride is a little overwhelmed. Let's go outside.
The union of 2 families in lifelong harmony.
You'd better sort your bloody daughter out. Don't worry, I will. But what if something has happened to Bryony? What if it has? Oh, spare me the crocodile tears. I'm not the only one glad she's not here, am I?
Weddings do bring out the best in people.
Carlos, be a darling and fetch some more fizzy. Carlos? Oh, where is that man when you want him?
As a chef, you get a taste for the way domestics move. Some are always on hand, others are always sneaking off for a fag break. Carlos began to intrigue me. Well, obviously I don't follow people, though I do sometimes drift in the same direction while hiding behind walls and doors. What did he do all day? His first stop was at Lord Lucas's office. He unlocked it with a key on a chain round his neck. He was out a minute later with a box under his arm. I followed him to the yard, but he threw the box on a bonfire. Burning rubbish, riveting stuff even by my standards. And back into the house, through the main hall, along the east corridor and into the kitchen. He loaded a tray with food. His lunch? No, 2 plates, 2 glasses, a half bottle of sparkling wine. He leaves the kitchen and I'm right on his tail when...
Mrs. Sidhu?
Oh, Mr Varma. My catering supplier. Ex-catering supplier, in fact, but he doesn't know that, and this is no moment for such a delicate matter. Meanwhile, Carlos was getting away. May I get through?
Not this time.
I've been meaning to call you.
Oh, I've enjoyed a number of conversations with your son. Didn't he pass on my messages? My most urgent messages?
He must have forgotten.
Because I've got a bunch of stuff that's defrosted and I'm expecting your order.
Carlos was long gone.
I now find this food. Where did it come from? Answer me that.
I have some explaining to do.
You think I don't know what's going on here? Say it. Say it out loud. I want to hear it from your own lips.
I've gone with another supplier.
And you say it out loud. Just like that.
It wasn't an easy decision.
I should have known. It's been coming.
Yes, your stuff is inorganically sourced, filled with E-numbers, and on the verge of sell-by date. But how to tell him that?
I've been undercut.
Oh, how did you work it out? You got a gift there, Mr Varma. That was the moment I saw Lucy and took my chance. If that's all, then, Mr Varma, I have a staff conference.
What? But you haven't heard my latest offer. Mrs. Sidhu, I'm offering my goods at cost price. Cost price!
That wasn't entirely a lie. I didn't want the situation in the kitchen to become strained since the events of the morning. I decided to air things with some candid girl talk. So, Lucy, you had a good time with Days last night? Ouch. Not a good time, and a nice time, a pleasant time.
I like him.
You do?
Why not?
What's French for how soon can he move in with you? Oh, that's wonderful. Don't spook the horses, nice and easy. You get along, then?
He does the job.
Well, it's not violins, but it's a couple of sitars and a harmonium. That's a start.
When is the wedding?
Bingo! Okay, play it cool. I'm free all next week.
The wedding, my English, the Lucas wedding.
Hold the sitars, deflate the harmonium. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Ah, oui. You think they would wait until after then?
For what?
The building work. They are sealing up the old wine cellar.
They are?
Yes. They start in the morning. The west corridor is closed off. We have to walk all the way around with the food. Boof.
Yeah, boof. That was the one place we hadn't looked. The wine cellar. I took the information directly to Inspector Burton.
Well, yes. Yes, sir. No, well, she has these instincts. No, she has been of some use to the police before. And of course she's not running things. I'm in charge here. The Lucases are being very gracious about it. Yes, a horse. Sir, I'll be sure to do that in future. Goodbye. Sergeant, have we got any coffee and aspirin?
I'll check. Sir, she's here.
Oh, God. All right, see if you can find anything stronger. Codeine, heroin, anything.
Hello, Sergeant. Mine's Builder's White. No sugar. Got that?
Yes, Ma'am.
Oof, well, that was a turn up for the books, huh? I mean, a horse.
Yes. Who would have expected that in a stable? Not me, when I'm only a policeman.
Criminal is more cunning than we thought.
Mrs. Sidhu.
Bryony Pickett is at Lapsley Hall, Inspector. I'm sure of it. I only hope she's still alive.
Mrs. Sidhu.
Sorry, do you have a theory?
You know, we get a huge number of calls and visits from members of the public every year.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Put out a description. Get the great British public to help. I don't care how much money, how much power the Lucases have. They aren't going to get away with it.
These people, well-meaning people, get ideas in their heads about their friends, about their neighbours, their employers, and they feel the need to get involved.
Oh, yeah, cranks.
We prefer not to use that term.
Well, call a spade, innit? That's what they are.
Often it's someone living alone, lonely, recently bereaved, someone with time to fill.
I get the profile, Inspector. Little old lady, Miss Marple complex. You're probably fighting him off with a stick. Oh, it's sad, really. Oh, I see.
Look, I know how good you are, but it looks bad to them upstairs.
I understand.
And tomorrow the whole thing is being handed on to Regional Special Team.
The mothball squad?
I'm sorry. Out of my hands. Sergeant! Mrs. Sidhu won't be needing that tea. See her out, will you?
But there is one place we haven't looked.
Indeed. Colonel Mustard in the drawing room is my
you
best.
You have to listen to me.
Yeah, don't hesitate, etc., etc. Right, where's that coffee?
I had to get into that cellar. Well, I couldn't ask Lady Lucas, not after the stable incident.
Are you worried about your nasal garden getting too bushy?
Yes?
Lucas Co. have the ideal thing for you.
Lord Lucas, oh, so sorry to disturb you.
No, come in.
Lord Lucas made his fortune when he invented the nose trimmer. But he had high-tech ambitions. He'd broken both his legs in a failed experiment with a high-speed delivery drone. I'm interrupting.
Old paperwork, loose ends for the burning pile.
Oh, was that one of your old adverts?
That was Reg's idea. Put me in the ads dressed up as a boffin. Silly, really. It worked, though. The man was a dud as an inventor. But I miss his touch with the marketing.
So strange, a man like Reg Pickett, a bean counter, you called him, to be so careless with his own money.
Oh, classic combination. Great at managing company money, terrible with his own.
So he committed suicide and left his daughter Bryony penniless.
She came at us for money, you know. Hysterical. Said she would ruin Josh, ruin his marriage. Cynthia was furious. No idea what she would have done if I hadn't found her pills.
A mother can be as protective as a lioness.
Yes, quite.
Still, things are looking up now.
Ha ha, you betcha. All this Brexit stuff, they're finally talking about us. People with ideas. What are we going to sell the Chinese? Shoes? I don't think so. Good old British innovation, that's what.
Where there's nasal hair, there's brass.
What? Ha! Why not? Yes. What can I do for you?
Oh, Lady Lucas is so busy, but we'll need some wine for tonight. Where's it kept?
The wine cupboard. There's a door under the east stairs.
Oh, and here's me trying the door to the wine cellar. It's locked. Could I take a look anyway?
The old wine cellar? I wouldn't go in there.
Why not?
Because, well, because it's unstable. What do you want in there anyway?
I wondered what would sound less hysterical. I suspect there's a dark family secret buried down there. Or there's a girl bound and gagged for reasons unknown. Oh, I just love these old buildings, the history.
Carlos is your man. If anyone has the keys, it's him.
All roads lead back to Carlos, the man with all the keys.
Do watch your step down there. I wouldn't want you to come to any harm.
This time, I lay in wait for Carlos in the back corridor. The one place he kept going back to was the yard. There was no shortage of rubbish to burn.
Psst, Charlie.
Signora?
Mrs. Broghan.
It's me.
All right, Babs.
Babs?
Not here, huh?
They turned back towards me. I ducked inside the pantry.
Someone will see us.
This way. What about in here?
Oh, no, not in here.
This looks cosy.
Any cozier and they'd be sitting on my lap. What could I do? Oh, I hid behind some dry goods.
Now, where were we?
Oh, I can't get my hands off the butler.
Question is, what did the butler see?
Oh, make an inventory. The sushi rice, good. I could do uramaki rolls with game tandoori filling. Order nori sheets and...
How much does he want to see?
aged pheasant. Plain flour, self-raising flour, gram flour. I could make fusion falafel, chickpea, parsley, cumin.
Oh, cold hands.
Dried apricots. No, not that. Mint sauce, lamb chops, potatoes.
Oh, Charlie, say it.
Oh, God, no.
Please, you know I like it.
Oh, no, it's just so stupid.
Oh, come on.
Oh, all right. Oh, the man from Del Monte, he say, yes!
Yeah! Oh, wear the Panama out next time.
You have got some serious problems, Babs.
Oh, don't stop now. Oh, Charlie.
Last resort, I closed my eyes and thought of mutton. Nothing.
What was that?
There's someone in here.
Mrs. Sidhu?
Oh, hello. Didn't see you come in. I was just doing a stock check and desiccated coconuts. The coconut. There. Mrs. Broghan?
All right.
He's called Charlie and he's not South American. I knew him years ago. Intimately, as it happens. Could you forget you saw us?
Please, rest assured. If I could, I would.
When I ran into him up here, well, things sparked again.
But why Carlos? Why all the mystery?
Well, the accent helps him with these posh jobs.
A Cockney butler with a made-up accent.
There's no need to tell, is there, what we were doing?
I doubt I could describe it. It's safe with me. Oh, another dead end. Time was up. The pre-wedding cocktail party was upon us. Des had managed to get himself into a dinner jacket, and we were having a stroll by the lake. Remember, waiting is an art form, Des. It's not just serving people.
You was forgetting my stint at Chicken Shack.
Today I'll settle for serving people. Oh, wait till Lucy sees you looking so smart.
Meh.
She's pretty, she's hardworking, she has a steady job.
We has got fundamental cultural differences. She's French, I is British. We didn't fight War of the Roses for nothing, innit?
But history was his biggest weakness. After geography, science, art and woodwork. She's perfect for you, Des.
No, Mum, she's perfect for you, innit? I spent the whole of last night with her on that creaky old sofa of yours.
Relationships need time.
We isn't in a relationship. We talk, that's all.
Oh, Des, I'm sorry.
No, you is not, because there is only one thing better for you than me getting a girl, and that's me not getting a girl. Then you can go on and on about how I is a failure.
But where are you going?
I quit. Another thing you wanted.
I didn't want this. Couldn't you wait till after the party?
I is going to contemplate life.
But Des, come back. You don't know how to row a boat. You don't even know how to swim. What if you fall in?
Like you care.
Of course I care. Have you ever tried to get bondweed out of a dinner jacket? There was no time to go after Des. Guests were arriving and I had a deal to arrange. Mrs. Broghan, did you get it?
Carlos could lose his job over this. He's not best pleased that you found out about us. And he's not the sort of bloke you want to displease.
You will have the key back before the party is over.
Right. I've got my daughter to sort out. She's got 2 TV producers and a magazine editor to meet.
Ah, the course of true love. But I had some mingling to do myself. Inspector, enjoying yourself?
Black tie, you said. Fine wines and excellent food, you said.
And?
I didn't know I'd be serving them, did I? I'm an inspector of the place.
Try not to let that show. Polite, discreet, in the background. Anyway, I think I might need an inspector tonight.
What are you playing at?
I have certain avenues. Just keep your eyes and ears open and keep an eye on Des.
Where is he?
Gone rowing on the lake.
Where are you going?
To defend the honor of deluded, hysterical old women everywhere.
I never said you were old.
This was my chance to find out what was in the cellar. The party was in full flow. I took a last look to check I hadn't been followed, and down I went. It was dark, one small bulb. Old empty wine racks lined the walls. As I got used to the light, I saw more. On the bench was a residue of white powder. There were a few unfinished-looking machines. Lucas's old inventions, perhaps. Some old boxes stacked in the corner of the kind I'd seen Carlos burning. I looked inside. Paperwork for Lucas Co. Diagrams, patents, all meaningless to me. And then the lights went out. What was that? Is someone there? That was close. I tried to maneuver around in the dark, but I couldn't see what I was doing. I headed away from the sound, down onto the cellar floor. I felt around for something to defend myself with. Oh! But my hand found something soft and squirming. Oh no, I don't even want to think about it. My worst fear. Rats. And I was trapped. Thank God I told Inspector Burton to be looking out for me.
So, what did you say your name was?
I didn't.
Oh, I love a bit of mystery. I'm actually a high-ranking policeman.
Why are you serving the wine?
I'm gonna have to watch you. You are sharp.
Oh no.
I made for the stairs. I felt something. I tripped, or was I pushed? I reached to grab something solid. Burton will be here soon. My instincts told me so.
There's actually a national cycle database, so it's well worth marking your bike up. I think I've got a kit in the car.
No thanks.
Well, enough about me. What about you?
I'm with a diplomatic team from the States.
Ah, diplomat. So are you single or attached?
Can I have some wine now?
I couldn't wait any longer. I had to get out. First, I had to get past whoever was stalking me. I tossed a bottle of wine to make a distracting sound. Then I made a run for it. Somehow, I got myself up the stairs and out of that place. And I imagined it all. That someone tried to kill me. I'm glad no one had seen me down there, panicking like an old woman. But I was covered in dirt, cobwebs, red wine, and rat droppings. I'd have to clean up before getting back to the party. At least the house was deserted.
Mrs. Sidhu? Is that you?
Lady Lucas. What's she doing here?
What on earth has happened to you? You look awful.
I was just taking a look in the wine cellar. I must have taken a tumble.
Well, shouldn't you be serving my guests? What's that smell? Oh, no. You've been drinking. It's Kongli all over again. What is it with you Asian chefs?
No. I just spilled some wine.
Oh, yes, I've heard that one before. Next you'll be organising rooster fights or whatever you get up to.
Anyway, what are you doing up here? Shouldn't you be down with your guests?
I thought I saw someone up by the house.
Oh, really? And here I find you hanging around outside the wine cellar after...
After what? What are you two doing up here?
Mrs. Broghan, I could ask you the same thing. Been here long?
I just came up. Something's happened on the lake.
My first thought was this. I rushed back to the party. What's going on?
Blimey, what happened to you?
Oh, nothing. I think I've been imagining things.
I'm not so sure.
What is it?
It's your son.
Des. Oh, what's happened? Is he all right? He can't swim.
He's fine.
Oh, Mum, it was horrible.
I need my pills. Carlos!
He's sloped off again. I'll get them.
What's happening?
It'll take a bit of time to make a proper identification, but it looks like Bryony Pickett. She was down there in the middle of the lake, stone dead.
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates, Murder with Masala, is written by Suk Pannu and directed by Marilyn Imrie. It stars Meera Syal, Justin Edwards, Amy Morgan, Vincent Ebrahim, Rachel Atkins, and Hamza Jetooa. It is produced by Gordon Kennedy and is an Absolutely production for the BBC.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall.
Bryony Pickett is at Lapsley Hall. I'm sure of it. No rain for weeks, and yet a puddle over here.
Why won't you talk to me? What's happened to her?
She came between us. I won't let her trouble us again.
Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
The dishwasher had been run, and there was barely anything in it.
But what if something has happened to Bryony? What if it has? Oh, spare me the crocodile tears. I'm not the only one glad she's not here, am I?
You are the Lord Lucas of Lucasco.
And all the king's horses.
So strange. A man like Reg Pickett, a bean counter, you called him, committed suicide and left his daughter Bryony penniless.
And all the king's men.
What's happening? What are you doing?
The old wine cellar? I wouldn't go in there.
Is there someone there?
Please. No. No.
What's happening?
It looks like Bryony Pickett. She was down there in the middle of the lake, stone dead.
Bryony!
Couldn't put Humpty together again.
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates, Murder with Masala by Suk Pannu. Episode 4. She sleeps with the carp.
By daybreak, they had confirmation that it was Bryony. While I had been poking around the cellar, she had been in the koi pond all along. Lady Lucas summoned me to her drawing room.
What
Not much.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're all leaving, including the Chinese delegation.
Mrs. Sidhu, join me over here.
Lady Lucas was on the edge of sanity even before the body was found. She needed careful handling.
I want my son to have his perfect day, even if the guest list is somewhat reduced.
And he will. Murder's a musty murga.
And reduced guest list, reduced budget.
If you've ever wondered how the rich stay rich, it's by not spending any money. I can do a cold buffet, but the Windsor supplier has a minimum order.
I cancelled them. Did it last night when they found the body.
She's the sentimental one in the family.
What about your little man from Slough? He's cheap, isn't he?
And currently fuming that I sacked him from this job. I'll contact him straight away. When are you rescheduling the wedding for?
We're going ahead as planned. Today.
But today the police will be questioning everyone.
You haven't heard. It was suicide.
What?
Your inspector told me personally. Isn't he a pet?
Isn't he? You'll never guess who has to scoop up his mess. I left a message for Varma without much hope of a reply. I'd have to solve my supplier crisis later. Right now, I had an itch in my brain, like an unfinished recipe.
Hello.
Kirsten, hi.
Yeah, Burton. Sorry, things happened so fast after we left the
Party.
crime scene. Yeah. Well, from the circumstantial evidence, it seems we're in bed together. Good.
I guess you really are a cop.
Yeah, I work the streets. It's quite tough around here. Lock up your daughters. Well, I mean, lock up your bicycles. Anyway.
I love cops.
And you're really a diplomat. So I guess you are single rather than attached.
It's complicated.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same.
Complicated?
Oh, worse than a Sudoku. You know, one of the really fiendish ones. Look, did we actually...
Not really.
Oh, yes.
Oh, don't worry. It happens to a lot of men. But I've never seen it accompanied by a full-blown panic attack.
Yeah, thanks for whacking me on the back. Normally my girlfriend does that.
On a plus note, I got a great night's sleep.
Yes, it's a posturepedic mattress. Fantastic lumbar support.
Oh, is that the time? I'll fix some breakfast. You like eggs? Easy over?
Yes, probably. Mrs. Sidhu, what is it?
Where are you? Put your finger out and get to work.
I'll be in soon.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not.
What was that?
I'm not whispering.
I can barely hear you. What, did you spend the night with a woman?
Did you say something?
Oh, my God. You did spend the night with a woman.
Oops. Oh, you're on the phone. I'll get dressed.
Mrs. Sidhu, please do not tell anyone at the police station, please.
Don't worry. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you.
Inspector Hot Pants. See you later.
Oh, sorry. Did I ruin things with your girlfriend?
My what?
On the phone, complicated.
Oh, she's cool because of the intricate, complex, downright mystifying nature of our relationship. So, will I see you again?
I doubt it. But thanks, I really did get a great night's sleep.
Sergeant! Where is everybody? Right, get this report done.
Morning! What's going on?
Oh, you're here, are you? I'm trying to write the report on Bryony Pickett.
Oh, of course, I don't want to disturb you. But I think your sergeant wants a word.
Good of him to turn up.
Congratulations.
It's not my birthday, Sergeant.
I heard all your birthdays came up once.
Why did you get me a card?
Oh, it says congratulations on breaking your duck. And there's a picture of a duck.
But I don't play cricket. And the only other meaning of breaking your duck is... Oh, no. You told them.
Oh, I had to. Everyone's rooting for you.
We had a whip round and got you a cake. Keep your strength up.
Just leave it there and get out.
Hey, guys, he looks knackered.
You You are the absolute limit.
Serves you right.
Well, what have I done?
A verdict of suicide.
That's right. Nice, simple, all tidy.
Meh. What does the pathologist say?
Drowned. No signs of violence.
But why would Bryony take her own life?
Could be any number of reasons.
Yes, I suppose. I can think of at least one.
Can you? You wouldn't mind thinking it out loud?
Well, a girl like Bryony, disappointed in love, jealous of her best friend, commits suicide on the eve of the wedding to punish her. Are you writing that in your report?
Yep.
But it doesn't explain my puddle on the lawn, or explain my almost empty dishwasher, or explain why she left a will to Jemma. Aren't you writing that in your report?
Nope. Irrelevant.
But it doesn't make sense.
No, all along you said something was up and you were right. Why can't you be happy?
I'm not allowed. I'm an Indian widow. Being an Indian widow is a delicate balancing act. A hint of happiness and the community judge you. Look too sad and everyone says you're milking it. It's a tightrope walk. Same with murder. Thanks to my persistence, Bryony's body had come to light. But I'm not going to milk it like some people. You know, when my husband was alive, he had a way of blowing his own trumpet. He would buy laddus for all our friends. Then they would have to ask, but what are we celebrating? Can't believe no one saw through that one. I'm back. I got laddus.
Ah, you's back then?
Well, that's what I said, so turn it off. Aren't you going to ask why I got laddus?
I's not so easily distracted.
Oh, all right.
We need to talk.
Yes. Suicide. Yeah, I'm not convinced. We're going to have to work harder to get our killer.
This is exactly what I want to talk about.
You can see it too? Yeah, good.
Have you ever wondered how you know so much about what's going on at them big house and you have no idea about what is going on in your own?
Think. Bryony Pickett, 27 years of age, verdict of
is you even
suicide, best
listening?
friend Jemma Broghan, registered nurse, had an affair with the groom. What does it mean?
Know, Mum. You ain't listening that door here, is you?
It has to be murder. Who's got motive?
Mum.
All of them. None of them? Anyone could have done it.
Because you was frightened about what you might hear.
And the body. What about the body? Drowned, no signs of foul play. There must be something about the body.
Mum, where were you when I needed you?
The body.
Mum!
Oh, Des, it must have been awful, huh? Finding the body like that.
You don't know a thing what I'm talking about, is it? When I needed you, when Dad died.
What? Your dad? Why'd you keep bringing him up?
This is what I'm saying. You was obsessed with this girl. What about your own life?
Oh, it's Varma. I have to take this. We'll talk later.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk later.
Mr. Varma.
By the way, that means we won't talk later.
Mrs. Sidhu, I got your message.
I see.
I'd be delighted to supply you with the items you asked for.
I understand how you feel, and I don't blame you for saying no, but I am Sorry, what did you say?
The delivery is on its way to Lapsley Hall.
I see. Well, that's wonderful. How much do I owe you?
You're too busy right now. I'll bill you in due course.
It is a budget affair.
You'll find my new prices match Carter's of Windsor's. Wasn't that the supply you dumped me for?
Uh-oh.
I expect settlement in 3 days. Thanking you for your loyalty.
Mr. Varma, please go...
Give me them laddus.
I think he gets his temper from me and his love of laddus from his father. I've no idea where he gets his taste in music. Out of space, probably. But Desi's words did remind me of my husband's funeral. It's funny. It's the little details that stick with you. The piles of cards and flowers, the bells ringing in the distance, a simple wreath of lilies and white roses laid on the coffin, and Elton John singing that song. That's Princess Diana's funeral. Now, my husband's funeral was at the local temple, followed by nibbles at his favourite Holiday Inn. Now, Mr. Varma was very generous, gave me a 3% discount on the Indian sweets. Well, they were best friends. But like Princess Di, we did have Elton John. Well, an Indian tribute act from Middlesex called Feltham John. I love Elton. They did Your Song, made me feel special, or at least that someone else thought I was special. Because when it got to that bit, I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house. I thought of how my husband was always bragging that he'd buy me a bigger place. I never really needed a bigger place. I had what I wanted. I should have told him that. But life goes on. And talking of big houses, back at Lapsley Hall, the wedding lunch was simple enough to leave Lucy in charge. I had an appointment with death. You know, I've always wanted to say that.
There's no need for this. We can look at the pathology report in my office.
The mortuary. White, cold, the strong smell of alcohol. Like one of Mrs. Brokesh's trifles. Cause of death?
Drowning, confirmed. No signs of violence. Suicide.
No.
Before you look at her, are you sure? It's not a pretty... Right. Us experienced cops are used to it.
Inspector, if you count poultry, I've done more autopsies than you or your pathologist. The only difference is the results are delicious.
Ooh.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. All right, Sergeant, please uncover the body.
Sir?
Ooh, the fish do make a mess, don't they?
They do. OK, let's get you back to my office and a hot cup of tea.
No, this is very interesting. What's this?
One circular bruise the size of a 2p coin on her shoulder. Could have got that anywhere, hardly life-threatening.
Contents of her stomach?
Or nothing. She hadn't eaten.
No, makes no sense.
But we're done here. Oh, I must say, you're made of stern stuff, Mrs. Sidhu.
Oh, that's nothing. Have you ever tried hukud? It's an Icelandic delicacy. Shark meat rotted to the point of putrefaction. I must make it for you sometime.
Sergeant, finish up here. Sergeant? Look at that. You ruined a perfectly good sergeant.
With the lunch prepared, my work was over. I packed away my cookware. There seemed little else I could do. I couldn't stand that Jemma was marrying into such a rotten bunch. But I soon had distractions closer to home. The pressure cooker and those frying pans are ours, and the bain-marie and the croissant dough.
Yes, chef.
Lucy, you all right?
Yes, chef.
Mum,
Des, I thought you'd left.
that's just what you want, innit?
No.
Oh yeah, with Tez gone, who's gonna tell you the truth? And you know what? You can't handle the truth.
Des, I don't know what to say about your father.
You don't have to say nothing. You know why?
Okay, you're using a double negative, so I have to say something, is that right?
Because you's my mum. If you're not ready to talk about Dad, it ain't not no business of mine.
This was very ungrammatical, but touching.
I don't care if you's more into dead bodies than a normal mum should be. I still love you. I said my piece.
Oh, thank you.
I hasn't said my piece yet. Me and Lucy, we both got some news for you.
Oh, Des! Oh, you've made me the happiest mum in the world.
Not that.
Oh.
True, there was a moment of passing attraction between me and Lucy. A moment when we almost snugged.
In your dreams.
But as you know, I is allergic to commitment.
Allergies. What did you just say?
I just isn't the settling down kind. I get itchy feet.
Because you don't cleanse them.
I remembered something Jemma had said about Bryony. Des, pass me my handbag. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Oh, why do I keep all these old bus tickets? Ah, there it is. Bryony's medical alert bracelet.
And done.
Did you finish your report?
Yes, about to print it off.
Don't waste your A4. It's not suicide. I always have my doubts about this wedding. Jemma seems reluctant. Josh seems unready for such a commitment. I mean, how can they have a future together?
Oh, damn this tie.
Hold still.
And damn the Chinese envoy for leaving. The prototype is nearly there.
Face it, Wally. You haven't had much luck since Reg died.
Teething problems. Bad luck.
It is just luck, isn't it, Wally?
But then I realised it's the past, not the future, that should worry us. All along, we've been told a story of two men, working together to build a company. One was a genius, one was mediocre, but we never questioned which was which, Inspector.
Well, Lord Lucas is the genius. He's the millionaire.
Why does being a millionaire make someone a genius? Surely that only proves that he's good with money.
But all the inventions are in his name.
What? What's the road? Oh, try using the steering wheel.
You still out here?
Listen, we shouldn't be seen together.
Oh, don't worry. After today, we won't have to hide. Charlie, where were you last night when Mrs. Sidhu was in the cellar?
Same as now, burning old rubbish for his lordship.
What are all these papers?
I don't ask questions. Nor should you.
You're saying Lucas changed the names on the patents after Reg Pickett's death?
Yeah, Bryony went out that night to claim her rightful inheritance, which is what she said to Jemma. It's just that Jemma remembered it wrong.
That's it. You go off to sleep, Jemma. Just remember, we're mates. To the end. We're all gonna get what we deserve. I'm gonna go and see someone about my old man.
About her old man, not about a man, which changes everything.
You've come of age. This will all be yours now.
Don't worry, Pops. I won't throw you in a home. Not for years.
Be serious for a moment, can't you? I've done things I'm not proud of. All of us have.
It was a one-off. It won't happen again. I've changed, truly.
A girl like Bryony couldn't help herself. She boasted that she'd made the will, and that is what sealed her fate.
But how did someone drown her without her fighting back?
She had an Achilles heel.
It's Bryony's. It's a medical alert bracelet. She's allergic to penicillin like me. We got identical ones. We gave them to each other when we passed our nursing exams.
Jemma knew about Bryony's allergy, but someone else knew too. Someone who knew her well.
This ceremony will unite Joshua and Jemma in marriage.
Just a moment, I've written some of my own vows. Here we go. My Gems. When I first met you, I had hurt my paw, but you made it as good as.
Oh, Josh!
You see, the killer laced Bryony's food with penicillin, and in her weakened state, she was disorientated, unable to fight back. The killer simply pushed her out into the water and held her down. Very little force was needed.
That's why she has no defensive injury.
Are you trying to kill us?
I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Jemma Broghan, may not be joined in marriage to Joshua Lucas.
Come on, get on with it.
Believe me, Inspector, this was no suicide, nor will the next one be.
What are you talking about?
This was the first of 2 murders. Kill Bryony, Jemma gets the money. Kill Jemma after she marries Josh, and the money comes full circle.
What a wonderful buffet. Jemma, would you come with me? I have a little surprise present for you. Don't tell the others.
Of course, Father.
Only one person knew about Reg Pickett's patents. Only one person could have done it.
A coin-sized bruise.
The end of a crutch. The very symbol of his failure to invent anything that worked. Can we stop now? I've got a stitch.
Yeah, me too. Right, come on.
Can you just pull me up?
Oh, bloody things. Help me down these steps, would you? I'll carry your bag.
The wine cellar? What have you got hidden down here?
I used to work down here. Had a laboratory. Me and Bryony's father.
I keep forgetting you knew them.
Many years ago. She was just a girl.
It's so sad. Oh, sorry. Suddenly I don't feel well.
It's all been very upsetting for you. Bryony's suicide and then this farce of a wedding.
No, it's all right. Josh made me a promise. He really means it this time. Oh!
You look like you're going into anaphylactic shock, my dear.
Oh, that's not possible.
You have so much in common with Bryony. I've seen the bracelets.
My allergy to penicillin. But I haven't taken any.
Perhaps it got into your lunch.
Please, my bag, it has my EpiPen in it.
Best this way. No struggling. Bryony went the same. No fuss, just lay down. Her father, well, he put up more of a fight. Very upsetting.
You killed Bryony.
You and she were such good friends, which should make your suicide all the more understandable. Slightly larger dose for you.
No. Please. No.
Soon be over. I'm becoming a bit of an expert in faking suicides. This will be my 3rd one. Too late! It's done!
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, we lay this poor
She
soul
was so
to
young.
rest.
You can rest assured that justice will be done.
Thank you for coming, Inspector. Mrs. Sidhu.
Gemma, there you are. The least I could do.
Just glad we got to your EpiPen in time.
Otherwise, I'd be in a coffin too. Poor Bryony. At peace. I thought she hated me.
Her last thoughts were of you. If anything happened to her, she wanted you to have the money.
But how did Lord Lucas hope to get away with it?
He gave Bryony food laced with penicillin.
And her stomach was empty.
And she vomited, disposing of the murder weapon. Very clever. But it left one tiny clue. When Lucas cleared it up, it left a... Inspector?
A puddle.
And, of course, all traces of it were removed by running... Inspector?
The dishwasher.
Even if it was almost empty.
Looks like you owe Mrs. Sidhu an apology, Inspector.
Yes. You'll get a mention in my press release.
Really? I was just a citizen doing a duty.
Oh, right.
Make sure they spell my name right, won't you? Sidhu.
I better get back and write the thing up.
The police have made an arrest in the murder of bridesmaid Bryony Pickett at Lapsley Hall. Inspector Burton of Thames Valley Police made this announcement.
Come in here, quickly!
We can confirm that Lord Lucas has been arrested and charged with murder and attempted murder. We're also reopening a case previously thought to be suicide. At this time, as the inquiry is developing, I can't offer any more details.
Can you confirm that you had inside help solving the crime?
What solved this crime was painstaking, dedicated and highly skilled police work. But, as ever, we do acknowledge the public in helping with our inquiries.
Traffic news. Max, what's happening on the M4?
Is that it? My mention? Oh.
It's time to talk. Lucy?
I am ready.
All right, then.
This is very difficult to say.
Stop there, Des. It's been incredible having you here, but you're moving on.
It's true. I've got an opportunity in brand management.
It's holding one of those signs directing people to cheap golfing supplies.
How did you know?
Well, let me see. Yeah. The peaked cap has left an imprint on your hairline, and you were practicing a golf swing in the bathroom.
That's my mom, the super sleuth.
You're holding the sign, Des.
Oh, yeah?
But you're standing on your own 2 feet. You got that from your father. And he would be very proud.
Thanks, Mom.
Mrs. Sidhu.
And I accept your resignation, Lucy.
But...
You are the best sous chef I could hope for. But you're homesick, and I won't stand in your way.
I do not understand.
You blubbed when I said bain-marie and croissant.
Oh, I will miss you, Mrs. Sidhu.
I miss you too.
So, Lucy, this is goodbye then? What might have been in it?
I am not going to snog you, Tez.
Out, both of you.
Oh, come on, babe. How long can you fight it?
Alone, all on my own again. Everything back to normal. Mrs. Sidhu's fine catering. An Indian wedding, you say? Huh? How many people? You've no idea. No, I relish a numerical challenge. Send me your dates. Everything back to normal. Mrs. Sidhu's fine catering. A weekend party, you say, huh? An eccentric millionaire. A Scottish castle. Well, I am available. I do indeed do on-site catering. I look forward to the details.
Mrs. Sidhu Investigates, Murder with Masala, is written by Suk Pannu and directed by Marilyn Imrie. It stars Meera Syal, Justin Edwards, Amy Morgan,